Good, okay. We are now streaming live and we are about to begin the meeting. Just so we have right now, Fred Cornelius is here. Mike Vitale is here. Tammy is, we got one more person coming in. Tammy is not here today. Her husband had surgery today, and Lori Reed is taking her place as recording secretary. And so we have 3 board members here. Then we have Tony Gucciardi on Zoom via Florida. So he's there. Rick Albato is here via Zoom. Nikki is here as well, candidate for town council. And Josh is also here. Welcome, everybody. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Okay. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for
all. Before we get started, I just wanted to recognize an individual who passed away this week, Gary Colella, who was a lifetime board member for the Owasco Fire Department. He also has served at the town in many different capacities. He served both on the zoning and currently on the planning board. I believe he has over 20 years of service. I don't know the exact amount, but he was also, when we were doing one of our water projects, he acted as the clerk of the works. He was the plant facility manager over at the SU at one of the schools there, environmental forestry, and he ran the plant there, but he also worked for many construction companies and did an outstanding job as the clerk of the works for us when we did one of the projects. So, I just 3 o'clock, we were over at the fire department after the service and just got back from there. And Gary was one of those people that you'll never forget. And I can count on a handful of people that I respect their judgment and their ability to communicate, and just a kind-hearted person. So please keep Gary and his family in your thoughts. Could I get a motion for the agenda for today, which is March 11th?
Move. Second.
Okay, here Fred, then Mike made the second. Is there any additions, corrections, or things you want to add to the agenda? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. The next thing would be the approval of the minutes from the February 11th board meeting. Could I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Michael and Fred. Any discussion on the minutes from February 11th? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Public participation. So our front door is open. There is nobody here from the public. And so Mickey or Josh, anything you would like to comment on? Or I know Mickey, you can type, or Josh, you can unmute, but
nothing on my end.
Okay, thank you. And nothing from Mickey. Okay. Then the next thing is today's really a light agenda, but we did get a communication draft financial statements from the 2010 auditors who came in, and they'll be presenting at next month's meeting to go over their findings. I did send out a draft to everybody. And again, it's a draft, it's not final. There are going to be some changes to that, but I can briefly go over a couple of the highlights for you. If you look at the executive summary section in the general fund, In the general fund, it's a 3-year financial analysis going back to 2018 to 2020. At the end of 2018, in the general fund, we had about $558,000, almost, $559,000 in our fund balance. In 2019, we went from 558 to 760. And then at the end of last year, our fund balance in the general account is $989,000. So we increased it during COVID for many reasons. One, we ended up getting, we thought we weren't going to get as much sales tax revenue as we anticipated, so we made some cutbacks. Some of the cutbacks were not our choice, such as the summer playground and other things like the farmer's market and that kind of stuff. So we cut back on a lot of our expenses to a tune of about $180,000. And then to our unexpected, we hit a windfall on the sales tax revenue. Sales tax came in over what we budgeted for. And we were expecting less than what we had budgeted for. So we ended up getting more money. So the combination of cutbacks and the combination of revenue increased our fund balance. And we do have a policy on the town that we instituted about a year or 2 years ago, saying that our fund balance should not be more than 30 to 50% of our anticipated budgeted revenue for the year. So next year, our anticipated revenue is around $867,000 for the general fund. But out of that, we anticipate to use $166,000 out of our fund balance to balance that. So the reasoning is keeping our, not raising taxes and keeping taxes at a level playing field. So we're going to be using fund balance and not increase taxes out of next year's budget. So we did budget, not knowing the expectation this year. We did budget low on revenue again, not knowing what COVID was going to do. So the other thing with the highway department, kind of similar results with the highway department. We in 2018 we were at 446,000. 2019 went to 557,000, and then at the draft of 2020, we anticipated to have 762,000 in our fund balance. Again, next year, remember, we purchased 4 pieces of equipment. That cost will come out of there, which in total, those 4 pieces of equipment is going to be around $160,000 for 4 new pieces of equipment. And our hopes there was to save money on the repair side, and it would pay for itself. And the intent is, again, to trade in or to sell outright in a 2-year period, because we buy on state contract pricing, and we can sell them at a fairly high rate if they're still in good shape and still under warranty. The sewer fund relatively stayed the same over the last 3 years. We went from 1.6 million to 1.6 million to 1.6 million roughly. So we're about, so our sewer fund is healthy. And the reason for our healthy sewer fund is because we're anticipating the projects on the avenues of separating the storm. We have a combined system on the avenues where we have a lot of infiltration, and with sewer rates going up, that we dump our sewer into the city and they charge us a rate. With that rate going up, we anticipate our infiltration costs to go up from about $500,000 to $600,000 a year, and any increase will increase that amount. So we're anticipating spending money on separation for the sewer, so that we can reduce our cost. And I think the cost savings that we will occur would pay for the project itself. The good news that came out today President Biden's passing of the COVID relief bill was that the town, we got a notification already today that the town is the lucky recipient of $400,000.
I think every town got that.
Every town
The
got
county
it.
got it and they were supposed to distribute it.
Yeah, every town got it, but if you read the details in that account, it's over a 2-year period, the first year being this year, and there's only certain criteria that you can spend the money on. One of the criteria that we're anticipating is water and sewer infrastructure. That's the word, infrastructure, that I was looking for. Infrastructure projects. As you know, we're anticipating to complete the Owasco Road project, and our engineers will have a copy of that project coming out within weeks, so that we can go out to bid for the completions from Green Shutters to Adams Ave. So that would complete the whole loop that we started up Oak Ridge, down Melrose, down, and we looped in those streets, Archie and Havens and Melrose, and all the way down to Adams Ave. This will complete that project.
They're shovel ready, right?
We will be shovel ready. So when we anticipate that coming, we'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
And we'll be first on board. So
Did you, I don't know when it came in, it might have came in later in the day. Did you share that? I assume it was an email or something that we got about the COVID relief money and what the requirements are for.
not yet.
Okay.
I will. I'll
You
send that out.
talk about
soon.
what he just said, the 400,000?
Yeah, it just came in this afternoon.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I
that
will.
was in the paper the other night.
Yeah, but this was officially from the.
Yeah,
from-
fine.
so, yeah, so I will send that. We just had a new person, Mike, just joined us. Mike, welcome. Don't know what your last name is, but you're more than welcome.
Just jumping back real quick to the statement regarding the fund balance, the main fund balance.
Yep.
We have a policy that says that our fund balance should be between 30% and 50% of our proposed budget.
Revenue, proposed revenue.
Okay, proposed revenue, which we proposed to be $867,000 is what I think you said.
Yes, yep.
And did I hear correctly that our fund balance is close to $1 million?
Correct. But
So
you got to take out
120.
the reserve accounts as well. So you take out the reserve accounts because they don't go against the fund balance. So once you deduct that, and we anticipate using $166,000 out of next year's budget.
That brings us down to 400.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll bring us down. So we're right about 50% of our,
Within where
what
we
we-
want to be.
yes.
Okay.
And if we decided that, if we decide who, and then, and if we decided who, we wanted to change that policy to increase that amount, we could also do that as well.
Isn't there some state guidelines on?
Not much.
Yeah, isn't there some state guidelines on how much of the people's money we can save?
Not on towns or villages, only on school districts. So there is no, school districts are like 20%, something like that, 10%, but not with towns. So, again, we just went through the audit with the auditors, and they made that recommendation right there, that 30 to 50%. That's what the auditors recommend. And we want to be able to make it through a rainy day policy in case of another COVID, in case we don't get as lucky with the revenue source,
Why would you say something like that? In case of another COVID.
Case of another- in case of
That 400, could that be used
Wow.
towards equipment?
yeah.
Could that be used towards equipment too, that 400?
No,
Just strictly
just strictly infrastructure, or
infrastructure.
water and sewer infrastructure only.
only infrastructure?
I'll send it out to you later today, and you'll be able to see
No,
that.
fine, it's infrastructure. That's what
Yeah.
I was wondering if there's equipment on that
And
too.
if anybody on the Zoom meeting would like a copy of that email as well, I'd be more than happy to share it with anybody. So, So again, the general looks good, the highway looks good, the sewer funds look good. The water funds are also in great shape, but, and we did some anticipating expenses, which we had the granular activated carbon unit system and the other water projects. We went from, in 2018, 1.1 million. And then in 2019, we went down to 694,000. And then this year we increased it up to 785,000. So again, that was a good thing. So we're in good shape in the water district, and then our capital accounts are in good shape as well. So we're financially, the town is in good financial shape. So I'm glad to report on that we did not have any financial problems. So any questions on the audit or anything like that? I think I sent that out to everybody. And again, I can't share that with the public yet because it's still a draft form. And next month's board meeting, we will hear the presentations from Incerno, which is the group out of Ithaca that does the CPA work for us. And once they give the presentation, then we can vote on it and pass it. And if we do pass it, then it becomes official. And then I can release that to anybody who wants to see that. But you're more than welcome to look at previous years. I think it's on our webpage, the previous year's financials. Okay, that's it for communications. Under new business, I did draft a draft letter to the New York State Comptroller's Office regarding the Highway Department's audit findings. And I did do a letter. It's in draft form right now. I'm going to try to send it out at the end of middle of next week, because it's due at the end of next week. So I'll probably send out first part of the week next week. Bob Bruno, I believe, is going to sign off on it as well. And basically what the letter says is that we agree with the comptroller's findings and do not wish to debate any of the findings that they reported on. So once we send that letter out and they receive it, we have 90 days at that time, as we did with the assessor's audit. And we have 90 days to do a corrective action plan. I'll start the corrective action plan. And I'll forward to everybody for your comments. And then we have to physically vote on that before we have a certified resolution to the comptrollers within 90-day period after they receive the letter next week.
So thinking ahead, we vote or we come up with a corrective action plan. This is a little bit different situation than we had in the past because the highway department is headed by a elected official. And so I guess my question is, I mean, we're going to need sign off from the highway superintendent on the corrective action plan, because he's going to, I would imagine, speaking kind of theoretically, I would imagine that he's going to have to be the one implementing a lot of or doing whatever we decide needs to be done. So I guess my question is Bob going to be, I would imagine he's going to be integrally involved in those discussions so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, being an elected official, we can't tell him what to do. So he has to be agreeable to do what we're putting in writing. And as with the response letter that we are writing, he has the right to sign our letter. And if he doesn't agree with our letter, he can send his own letter, and he has the right to say or do whatever he wants. So.
And we have the right to cut his budget to zero.
Not, no.
You
No.
could do
No,
that, and
no.
no, I'm just
No, you can't.
hypothetically,
Yeah,
that's how you hurt a road
Uh,
superintendent is by his budget, but by the same token, you're hurting him and you're hurting the town.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22.
yeah.
Yeah.
The laws, the
I
laws.
only,
say-
I
No, I
only
know
say
you're
it because
doing.
it's the same,
Yeah.
it's the same circumstance at the county with the sheriff's office. I mean, he does what he needs to do,
Same
but
thing.
the way that
You can slow the cars down.
exactly.
Okay, so any questions on the auditor's report, stuff like that? The next thing on the agenda for new business is, we had our sewer jetter, break down, this past month. And the sewer jetter is, I don't know, 40 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it costs us thousands of dollars to get it fixed because of trying to get parts for it.
The pumps are weak on it.
Yeah, the
too.
pumps are weak. It doesn't actually do. One of the things that we had to do was to hire the city of Auburn to come out and we had a overflow situation last month, as many of you know, we voted on that. We had a situation where we had to call the city of Auburn to come in with their truck tanker and to pump out the sewer line and then jet it out because our machine couldn't do it and didn't have the capacity to do it. Just to walk out the door before they charge labor or anything else is a $500 charge. And then the total bill came to almost $1,000 for the city of Auburn. And so, so that got Bob looking at different situations, and Bob did some homework. And one of the things that Bob looked at is and it just happened to be the city was testing another truck that they liked better than the one they had. And this truck right here is a Model 900 thing. It's a pumper, and it does more than what the city truck can do because you can actually submerge the suction into the water as compared to just keeping it on top and sucking up. That way it can actually be submerged and suck things right down in that. So that's the good news. The bad news is it's $400,000. So, we do have over $1.5 million in the sewer reserve fund if we wanted to do it. But in the meantime, the way we work is we look at ways to cut that cost. And one of the ways to cut that cost is talking with the city of Auburn. They want to buy it and we want to buy it. And then with this intermunicipal agreements and with the state funding one-time things to save money, we're looking, I was able to look at and talk to people that there may be, we may be have the ability to get 50% of this machine paid for by the state if we share it with another municipality. So it would drop from $400,000 down to $200,000. And if we split it with the city, it would end up costing us $100,000.
I see a lot of holes in that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, sharing, who gets to use it, who's going to keep it.
Of all places, the city,
Yeah,
they'll be using it all the time. And what I see around here, it seems like we got more stuff going on Sundays. And where are you gonna get the equipment? You're gonna call, beg them, they're gonna charge us for their man to come up here on overtime. Fred, I was there when they demonstrated this truck,
Mhm.
and what a hell of a truck. They carrying more water than they carry 600 gallons of water. What's it, 11 ton? They can carry 11 ton of spoils on it. They got 600 feet of hose. This problem that we had, recently, this truck could have helped out tremendously. And I'm not trying to sell, don't get me wrong. I'm just learning on some of this stuff myself. And what I understand too is we got to send our camera down these lines, and this truck has capabilities of getting in there and cleaning that line out so that camera, when he changes wheels on that camera to go down there, it won't slip and slide as much, is what my understanding is. So I see a lot of pros, but the problem is I'd like to see if you're going to go with another municipality, it'd be nice to go with a smaller municipality if it was, so that the machine isn't tied up again. And then it'd be nice if we could house the machine. Because the way I see these guys going out on weekends, what are you going to do? Beg the guy, knock on somebody's door, hey, I need that truck this weekend. you know, and they're always out for some reason.
Is it, was the city interested at all in that, or have we not broached it? with them?
They're interested in this, in the thing, but they didn't have the money to buy it outright themselves.
No, I meant interested in the cooperative agreement.
Well, it's, you know, talking to the people who are not in the ability to agree
Mhm.
to it, yes, but, no, nothing
So
official.
I see the same problems that Mike does. I don't know that they're not, you know, I don't know that they're insurmountable. I think that if we did engage in some kind of intermunicipal agreement, it would have to be clear that you know, there would be joint access to the vehicle. We wouldn't have to call somebody. They'd have to be in a location that we wouldn't have to call somebody in to get it on a time off. We would have to have these things written into the program.
You know, Fred, I know we can't afford the machine, and I'm not saying that, but I can see problems where Bill comes in and backs the truck out for the city. He goes in and breaks a dial in there. Bobby comes in, takes the truck. He says, "Who the heck broke the dial? Now I can't use it today." I'm not saying no, not to do it,
Yeah,
but I'm just bringing things up like that. And it happens. I've seen it happen in my own organization. Who did that? I don't know. Who drove it last? I don't know.
yeah, no, I agree that there are things. I think that it's worth the conversation.
Oh, sure.
And then we make an informed decision at the end of having that
well,
discussion.
Wasn't there a small town that just recently wanted something and wanted to rent ours or something? You know, if we joined up with a smaller town and they had a problem, we could send one of our men down with the truck.
Yeah.
And then back charge them a little bit. If we did it, you know, with the other municipality, and we would get maybe the same deal.
Yeah, well, here's the other caveat to this whole scenario. One is they have and these are big trucks, you know, so we would not be able to, we cannot use it on the fire lanes because one, they're private roads and
That's right.
they can't get it down there.
Yeah.
So we would still have to keep our old piece of equipment for the fire lanes for the newer districts that were
That's true.
formed. Number two, situation here is that because this was a demo, it has I think 1,500 miles on it or 15,000. I can't remember.
Didn't have many, no.
It didn't have many
That's why
hours
we're-
on it or
That's why
miles on
they're
it,
discounting.
and they were discounting this machine by us like I don't know $20,000 or $30,000 off. $20,000 off on that, and it's under a state contracting bidding. So it's a, you know, there's only a couple companies that do it, and it's under state contracting. So we don't have to go out to bid, but they're going to actually lower that because of the demo model.
Mhm.
And if we don't go forward with it, you know, within a short period of time, they're probably going to sell to somebody else, and it means we're going to spend $20,000 more on a brand new machine, and then a brand new machine is 8 months out if we want to go forward with this. So it's up to this board to decide, you know, one, do we want it, and then two, how are we going to pay for it? You know, that's going to be the, you know, and looking at
I think with the stuff that we've got, I think with the stuff that we've got going forward and the tremendous responsibility that the town has to not only our people, but you know, the surrounding municipalities that we provide water to and all of that. I don't think that, in my mind, it's not, if we need it, we need it. It's not a question of that. It's more a question of you know, how do we go about doing it? In my mind, if you know, Bob's a professional, if he's saying that our equipment isn't doing the job that we need it to do, then we need to
Yeah,
get new
I
equipment.
learned a lot just going to this thing.
Yeah.
Is Fleming have sewers?
Fleming, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a small town.
Senate does too. And
Okay.
yeah,
If we could work a deal where we housed it here,
yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how we can, but the problem is I hate to give up, but the thing is, we'd have to wait till next year to buy it if we did it under the grant type thing, if we would even get it. There's no guarantees we would get it.
Well, usually an intermunicipality, they kind of like that.
They like
If we
it
did that.
if we did that, yeah. But
I
then-
hate to do it.
But then again, they can do it with the city right now. They could, like I said, they can hire the city out for $1,000 each time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look at how many times these guys go out on a weekend.
Oh, for us, it because of, we have 5 miles,
Everything's
we have
old
5
now.
miles right now of clay piping that are 18-inch clay pipes that have seams at every 18 inches. That's why our infiltration is so high, because every one of those cracks, every 18 inches out of 5 miles, we're
And
getting water.
the roots are starting to get in there
Roots are
too.
getting in, and that's why and this, it goes, and from the brief half-hour
The briefing
presentation
we
that I
got.
got,
Yes.
we're going to go from 400 gallons at a time to like a 600 gallon
11
pressure wise.
11 ton.
Like-
You'd have to equate that into gallons.
So it's gonna cut faster, it's gonna cut quicker, it's gonna cut easier, and plus with the clay tile, because of the heaving and stuff that happens, it's able to direct, the thing on it is much better. But
What level of would it require any level of training for our staff, or does the
Minimal.
I think they have the training, except the new valve over here and the extra water, and you turn it
so
here.
it's similar, it's
Wintertime.
just newer, but
Yeah.
Wintertime might be a problem because of the freeze out here. You'd have to drain the thing down real good, which is easy,
it's gotta keep it
but you
indoors.
gotta be alert. You can't leave that machine. You gotta be
It's
alert.
gotta be stored indoors in the winter time,
Well, that and the pump
in the heated area.
going out with water is tough. I mean, the old machine does it too. They go
Yeah.
out with water, but it's tough in the winter working
you
with
want to
water.
put together a couple of scenarios on how to pay for it, and we can talk about it.
Yep.
That's what we need to do.
Okay, so it seems like, most people are in favor of the idea behind it, and then going forward.
When we needed some money in troop, I went after one of the, I don't remember who it was Helmig or something like that. We got a bunch of money for the park that time.
Yeah,
I just wonder if they got some in the barrel.
the member items from the local assembly and senate, they're all gone. They don't have those
They don't have
anymore.
that barrel anymore?
That barrel is dry and it's not there, so.
They're busy getting ready to impeach the governor, so they're tied up.
Oh, he's got more problems.
They're tied up.
Okay, anything else on the sewer? Anybody wants to comment?
Did we resolve all our problems with the sewer? That the lady that want to be reimbursed because
Yes, that's all taken care of.
that was, and that's the only one we had?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yep, that was cleaned up.
And the odor thing that Bobby was working on, has he got that resolved now? Was that sewer or coming in from the,
Which other?
Bobby had to add that, what was it? Add that thing to the sewer system.
Oh, that's all taken care of.
That's taken care
Yep,
of
it's
too.
all set. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. The next thing is on there for old business. We completed the editing of the cybersecurity policy. That I have a copy of it here. Here's the cybersecurity thing. Once we did the editing, we're gonna finish typing this up and we'll bring it forward to the board next month. So all of the editing, so we'll ask for a motion to approve. We are in the process of contracting with Kevin Carpenter to do the training. As you recall, this is a mandated requirement that the state is requiring us to do for cybersecurity. And also our insurance company is also requiring that we have a policy in place and that we have documentation to make sure that it's implemented. I give you an update on the Biox injection station up at the Sewer District 3. Bob Bruno received a proposal from Frank Diorio.
That's the one.
And Frank believes that we can do a lot of the work in-house and that we would be able to, we have two different things now, contracting out and leasing the Bioxide station. For those of you who are new, the Bioxide station is a chemical that bonds to the sewer smell and cuts down the odor, so that when it travels from sewer district 3 to sewer district 2, especially at the pump station, that the residents, we had problems and issues last year with smell coming out of the sewer line. And so the Bioxide station wasn't working properly. We had to upgrade it. It wasn't producing enough bioxide. And by producing too much bioxide, it causes coagulation in the sewer lines, and then it plugs the sewer lines, which creates more problems. So you got to find the right mixture. And so what we're trying to do is to have an automated system do it automatically for us based on flows. So when the summer people come in, the flows go up, the injection increases. When the people leave to go to Florida in the winter, we have less volume, and so it reduces the bioxide, so we don't have unwanted consequences. So when we thought about leasing out the equipment, it was going to cost us over $100,000 a year to lease out the tank, the equipment, the injections, all that stuff. And when a different engineering company came in, we went out and got a second proposal. We can probably do the whole projects for less than $100,000 if we do it in-house and we monitor it ourselves. So instead of doing $100,000 annually, it's a one-time cost. So we have the money for that. So I'll put together once like I said, Bob got that proposal this week, but I have not seen it yet. So once I read that, I'll be able to give you more information on that and hopefully have something for you to review for next month's meeting. The next thing is an update on the GAC unit. We did have a Zoom meeting this morning. And the good news is heat's on, the electrical's working, the painter's coming next week. We're looking to wrap up this project. We're probably going to test the granular activated carbon units on the 24th is the target date right now for startup on that. We have the telemetry that needs to be installed. That probably won't be installed to the 29th. Our next progress meeting is April 6th. And then hopefully at that time, the only thing that will be left to do would be the outside cleaning up and paving and that kind of stuff around the GAC building. So I had a call this week also from the DEC regional director wanting the state commissioner for the DEC to come up and tour both the Auburn water plant and the town of Owasco's water plant. We're not sure if he's going to be able to do it, but there's an invitation out for that commissioner to come up here and to see what some of their money was spent on and give them an idea. And also when he's here, we'll have an opportunity to talk about water quality issues on the lake, especially with the microcystin toxins and the new rules and regulations that we're trying to get passed with the city of Auburn. So that's any questions on the GAC project?
When he is coming or not coming, I wouldn't mind going.
No, yep. Everybody would be welcome to be there.
Yeah, probably be a good time.
Yep. It's not too often you get a commissioner to come up. Yeah. Last time they were up, we had the health commissioner and Basil and health commissioner and Seikos come up for when Governor Cuomo came in for the fishing derby, and they toured the water plant. So we got to meet them at that time, but that was the last time both commissioners were here with the governor, and I think Schumer was also here at the time as well. So we got to, I've got some nice pictures. So, alrighty. Next thing is a civil service job description. I I started working on the civil service job position for the full-time assistant it's called the Assistant Utility Director, similar to what the City of Auburn does. The working on it, there's some things that I need to modify some more, and I already have some thoughts. I got some comments back from Fred, and I think I have solutions for those comments already. So once I get those things updated, so hopefully by next month, I'll be able to supply a job description for us to go forward with that project. And if we do have some of the stuff completed prior to next month's meeting, I might call a new meeting during the month to approve some of the stuff so that we can have time to talk about different things. And if we want to table, we'll have time to talk about it and then present it at the meeting, so we can get everything worked out prior to.
And civil service, county civil service has been very helpful to getting that moving and giving you what you needed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're great. Yeah. We are lucky. I think the county's doing a really good job now, and really happy. It's been great to be able to work with people down there. And next thing is monthly expense sheets in your folders. And I think Darcel emailed upon the recommendation of the comptroller's office and we voted on last month that every month now on a large sheet of paper, Darcel's, I think it might be in your mailbox, she's sending out all the expenses for every department every month, so that every department head and every board member knows exactly what they spent, where their budget is, and so they can compare what they have left in their budget, so there's no discrepancy on that. So prefer to do it electronically, but if anybody wants it hard copy, we can print out as well.
We've got hard copies right now.
Yeah, I think it's in your mailbox
Okay.
in there. Yep. So the other thing is the LED lights. I didn't put this on the agenda, but it's something I thought of when I was just reviewing the minutes. We 2 years ago or last summer, we went through the town and replaced all of the lights in the town. It cost us $12,000 to do that. We had to buy out the remaining balance of the lights, and in the first 8 months, we saved $18,000 last
Wow.
year. So we paid for it and saved money. So now we're just saving money. The only lights they couldn't do were the new developments, which was the Bench Track, the Dickman Track, Martin Point, and the Woodlands. So those things were they weren't on the poles. They didn't have the arms that you see hanging over the streets. So they were the decorative lights on a pole. And so they couldn't replace them. So we had an electrician come through, and we were able to cut the ballast, rewire each one of those lights, and we were able to change all the LEDs to new lights in those developments. The bottom line is we now are getting charged 2/3 less on our utilities for those lights, and we don't have to pay the annual a monthly fee of $5 per light per pole, and we did 50 of them. So for them to service it, so we paid an annual fee. So really, the only thing we were paying that $5 per month fee, besides paying 2/3 more in utility costs, we had to pay that fee. And basically, all it did was if the light bulb went out, they had to replace it.
So it only cost us $12,000.
That was for the initial.
To do the initial thing.
And I'm not sure what the total is. I think we paid for it last month.
Did you have a small grant on that?
What's that?
Did you have a small grant on that?
No.
I thought you did.
I
thought you did.
No, what it was is you had to pay out whatever the anticipated depreciation, remaining balance of the depreciation on the lights, and it's based on age and longevity. So everything was done that way. But there was no grant. So Uh, anything, so that's the LED. So we did replace all those. So right now we are 100% LED. And that goes along with our green plan as well, reducing green gases in the environment. And as Walt Aikman has talked about previously on different, and we do have a board, a tree board meeting next Tuesday night at 6 or 6:30, if anybody's interested in attending. It'll be available on Zoom if you want to attend. I think it's at 6:30 if you want to attend the tree board meeting. And we're looking at the tree. We're looking at the proposal to it's called the draft community forest management plan. And so the tree board is meeting to discuss. We already looked at draft of phase 1. This is phase 2 of that plan. And so we're trying to get this plan wrapped up so that we will be eligible for grant money for similar to what the city of Auburn has done. In order to get the grant money, we got to have this plan in place.
Where's that gonna be held?
Right here. I'll be here at 6:30 on Tuesday, or you can join by Zoom. And if you're interested, just let me know, and I will let anybody give you the access code to get into the board meeting. Okay, next, I do not have any resolutions for tonight to pass besides the budget modifications and the payment audit and payment of claims. So the first resolution, which now will be on the minutes here, draft agenda, we have year 21-044 is now going to be 043 because we don't have a 043 above it. So that's going to be 043. And so could I get a motion to approve the budget modifications?
So moved.
Second.
So Mike, then Fred, is there any discussion on the budget modifications?
So this 18,000 credit machinery.
Yeah.
That
was when we bought the backhoe. It was overlooked that there was not a quick coupler connection to it in order to complete the process. And this is equipment that we're going to keep after we sell the backhoe. It was to get the equipment to what we needed it to be. So it was part of the back, and the backhoe is not here yet. It's on, it's being worked on right now. As soon as it's completed, it'll be done. So that was overlooked on the bidding process when it was.
It didn't have the quick coupler on it?
No.
And they're putting one on it now?
Yeah, factory. Yep. So when it was spec'd out, it was
Oh,
overlooked.
okay. Okay.
Bob verbally told them that he wanted it, and they didn't put it.
I had originally asked you about that, and I think I did. I'm almost positive I did. And I thought they're gonna switch some stuff around and use some of the old stuff, but maybe it wasn't compatible.
I don't know. No, but that's just what they
That's
told
what
me.
I understood.
No. So that's what that is. He's taking money out of a different account to pay for it. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
Any other questions on any budget modifications? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then now resolution 21-044, which was the previously 045, is the audit and payment of claims for this month's bills. I did have the bills right here. I did go through each one individually myself. I did not see anything that stood out that was bad or anything. So it was pretty, it's a low paying month. It was only about $300,000. We range between 300,000 to $1 million each month, so depending on what we're paying. So whether we got bonds due or stuff like that. So can I get a motion to
Move.
approve audit and payment of claims?
Second.
And then anybody, again, for those of you who are every month, the bills audit, they're here. Anybody can come in and review them. They're open to the public anytime. So if you have a question, we have a master abstract that has a list of all of the payments and the amounts and what accounts they go to. And then we have the supporting documentation for each one on there. So. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. I do not have anything for an executive session. Does anybody else have anything for an executive session?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn at 4:50?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And if anybody
Hey, does Tony
needs,
have any objection?
Tony, any objections?
I'm thinking about it.
There you go. All right, enjoy the warmth down there, and if anybody wants anything from me in regards to anything that was discussed tonight, feel free to give me an email, give me a call. Be more than happy to sit down and talk with you or provide any documentation that you request. All right, thank you, everybody. We're gonna turn off our recording to the Yahoo, to Zoom, whatever you call that thing, YouTube, and you can watch it again tonight if you